Hey, how's it going? This is Kyle Stanley, independent distributor with AdvoCare out of Fresno, California. And I'm making this video today to help empower new distributors that are dealing with how do I share AdvoCare, how do I share the products, and how do I really deal with tough questions. A lot of this is based around what I learned from, it was an awesome video that used to be online with Danny McDaniel about the Bulletproof Shield, which we're going to talk about that towards the end, but I'm taking it another step further and talking about how I talk about some of the most common products, the most popular products in AdvoCare with people that I'm out there in the marketplace discussing AdvoCare with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of focus on these products that you see right here in front of you, how I start a conversation with AdvoCare, how I share AdvoCare, and also again, just kind of dealing with those tough questions. Now, what today is not going to be about, it's not going to be about how to spark someone or how to share your story. So if you're looking for information on that, get back with the person that is your leader in AdvoCare, and they will help you to understand how they spark someone and also how they share their story and how you can effectively share a story, because the story in AdvoCare is really our number one tool to helping us build a business. The other number one tool is Spark. So that is obviously, you get told, hey, don't leave the house without a spark. And that's the number one thing. Do not leave your house without a spark, okay? So what I'm usually doing if someone brings up an opportunity for me to share a spark, number one, I already have a water bottle, a spark, and usually an impact magazine with me too. But basically what I'm doing there is I'm not letting them take the packet and take it home and try it on their own. I'm literally taking this water, I'm pouring out a little bit, and I'm saying, hey, listen, this helped me replace my 5-hour energy habit. You're going to love this. It's also, by the way, within the first 3 weeks of being on the products, I lost 3% body fat, lost 6 pounds I had no idea that I needed to lose. And honestly, I love helping people get results on these products. So this one's watermelon, one of my favorites. Go ahead and take it. Try it. Okay? Just like that. And I take the lid off and I give it to them and I make them try it right in front of me. Whether they finish the whole thing or not right there in front of me is up to them, but I'm at least going to get that initial response of, oh, wow, yeah, this tastes really good. And usually if you don't give them the lid, what are they going to do? They're going to probably drink it faster. And AdvoCare Spark is awesome when you drink it fast because then you're going to feel the effects. So then I'm either, if I know I'm going to see that person again tomorrow, that's going to be different than how I approach them if I'm seeing them or not knowing if I'm going to see them again. So the most common is you're probably not knowing when you're going to see that person again. So I'll just start there. So I'll usually just say, it tastes pretty awesome, right? Yeah, it does. It really does taste awesome. So do you have any health goals for yourself? Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z. Awesome. Okay, so you want to lose about 10 pounds. You want to feel better energy. And you know when you want to do that by? Yeah, I'd like to do it probably within the next month. Okay, awesome. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a video that explains where I started. It's called the 24-Day Challenge. It's awesome. It's only a 5-minute video, and I want you to watch that tonight, and I'm going to call you at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Does that sound good? Okay? So you are getting them sparked. You're getting them the next step. You don't want to be the messenger of everything. You need to bring it to third-party credibility. Third-party credibility immediately for me and my team is a video that's going to explain exactly what the 24-day challenge is so that you're not sitting here and saying, oh, it's a 10-day cleanse followed by 14 days of increasing your metabolism and you're going to get these awesome M&S pills that you're taking every day. It's a lot of pills, but don't worry, it's going to be totally worth it. You don't want to get into that kind of conversation because of a couple things. One, it's, again, your voice. Someone keeps hearing it from you, from you, from you. They don't know how credible this is, especially if they've never heard of AdvoCare before. Number two is that basically if you start explaining something when someone's not ready for an explanation or really isn't that interested, because again, it's coming from you, then you're going to kind of look at like that crazy person in the room that everyone's like, stay away from that person. They're going to shove supplements down your throat, and who wants to be that person? So You spark them, you get that positive reaction, you ask them what their goals are, you care about their goals, and then you share, hey, I'm going to send you a video and I'm going to give you a call tomorrow at 12 and I want to know what you think about it. Absolutely, sounds good. So what I'm not doing is I'm not explaining the challenge and I'm not going into all of this explanation of all the products, okay? I'm just really letting the video do all the work for me. And then when I call them, if I'm a new person, like you probably are, if I call them and I say, hey, what'd you think of the video? Oh, it's pretty cool. I think that could be something that could help me out, okay? One of two scenarios here. If you are not comfortable with taking someone through the website and showing them how to order or knowing what recommendations or asking the right questions, because guess what? You get someone who's pregnant or nursing and you start making recommendations that you're not comfortable with, that's not going to look good on your end. So if you're not comfortable with that, hey, listen, my friend so-and-so has been doing this a lot longer than me. They know a lot more about the products. I want to introduce them to you so that you get the best advice and the best help on how to get the right product regimen for yourself. They're awesome. They've helped so many people. I know they can help you too. That's all you do, okay? So, keeping this simple, keeping this really simple, you spark, you send more information, you follow up, you get them on the line with your sponsor if you're not comfortable. If you're ready and you know how to take someone through the website, you know how to make recommendations, now it's just about, hey, do you want to see what my recommendations are? I'd love to help you get started on products. When would you like to see what my recommendations would be? You take them through the site. Okay, that is the most common way that I'm starting conversations about AdvoCare, and that's really the most common way that I'm kind of taking people through the process. Again, this is not a video about follow-up, so I'm not going to get into follow-up, but just know that 5 to 6 times of follow-up is usually when people make a decision. So just because they don't say yes the first time doesn't mean that they're not going to do it eventually. So, other products that I'm talking about. Pre, okay? I'm making this video right now. It's 2017. I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but this stuff is new. It's awesome. And I'm especially putting that in my bag when I'm going to the gym. When I'm talking to people out and about, it's spark. When I find people that are really interested in getting better performance out of the gym, I'm talking pre. And I'm just sharing my story. Just a lot like when I shook up the spark and said, you know, this allowed me to have 3 to 5 hours of mental clarity that got me away from my 5-hour energies. I lost 3% body fat and I lost 6 pounds in 24 days. Give it a shot. Okay, same thing with pre. I'm shaking it up for them if they are going to the gym. If they're in the middle of a workout, they've already got their pre-workout in them. I'm just saying, hey, listen, tomorrow when you go to the gym, I want you to try this 20 to 30 minutes before the gym. Shake it up, 8 to 12 ounces of water, and drink it down about 20 to 30 minutes before the gym. What time do you work out? Because I want to call you after your workout. I want to know what you thought of it. Okay? Same deal. You follow up. They love it. Their goals might be a little bit different than a 24-day challenge. If you got someone who's, yoked and a meathead, you might want to talk to them about the Performance Elite section. If you do have someone that is just looking for weight loss, you got to go to your sponsor and go to the website and figure out what products are going to work for them. But that's how I'm sharing pre, and I'm sharing my story. I'm just saying, listen, I've tried every pre-workout on the market. The first time I tried this, I thought, you know what, that's pretty good. And then I kept using it. I fell in love with it. It literally gets me off the couch and drives me. I want to sprint to the gym when I have this in me. And then they say, well, what's in it? Let's go back to this. Common question. Hey, what's in this stuff that you're giving me? What's the spark? What's in the pre? Okay? Easy answer on the spark. Caffeine, about the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee, and B12 and amino acids. The way that I explain it is, do you drink coffee? I'll ask them, do you drink coffee? Do you drink Red Bulls? What do you drink? They'll usually have some sort of energy source. And I say, okay, here's the difference. What you're drinking, it's got the caffeine, maybe a little bit of sugar too, so you're going to go up, you can come right back down. Oh yeah, I always crash after that. Okay, with Spark, the caffeine's going to get you up. The B12 and amino acids are going to keep your mental focus, your clarity, and your energy steady the rest of the 3 to 5 hours. Well, do I crash after the 3 to 5 hours? I don't know many people that have, but let me know what you think. I'm looking forward to following up with you. Okay? Stories. Use your personal experience. Pre. What's in the pre? About the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee. Cayenne pepper. believe it or not. I don't know what the magic is about cayenne pepper. I'm not an ingredients person, but all I know is that when I have this, I feel amazing and I want to sprint to the gym. Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to trying it. All right, that's how I answer those questions. Um, then a lot of people I'll ask, especially athletes or people that are active in the gym, hey, are you drinking any Gatorade, drinking any Powerade, anything like that? Yeah, I drink that a lot. Definitely got to get rehydrated. And okay, well, here's what I use. It's called Rehydrate. I'll tell you what, I used to drink that stuff all the time. I used to drink Gatorade. Um, for me, this works because it's that 1-to-1 electrolyte to potassium balance, which most hydration drinks don't have. Most of those don't have the potassium. They got the electrolytes. Most have way too much sugar. This only has 6 grams of sugar, and it's got that 1-to-1 electrolyte to potassium balance. For my dad, he used to wake up cramping up at 2 a.m. every single morning. He drinks this now, just a half a serving before bed every single night. Hasn't cramped up in 4 years. Stuff works. Okay. If they're an athlete, I like to use the story of one of my athletes. I have a baseball player who takes this in the 4th inning, and he says it makes it feel like it's the 1st inning or pregame again. Okay, stories. Um, I want to tighten and tone. I really, especially because I'm working out and I'm hitting a plateau. I just don't feel like I'm seeing the results. Perfect idea to talk about the 24-day challenge, but at the same time, maybe someone's not ready for a 24-day challenge. Maybe you just want to softly introduce AdvoCare rather than a whole 24-day challenge program. Catalyst, you're going to fall in love with Catalyst. This, first of all, I love Catalyst because when I used to work out all the time, I would gain muscle like that and I would lose it like that. With Catalyst, what I noticed is that I would go to the gym, and I still go to the gym a ton, and when I'm not working out a ton, Catalyst helps me to protect and preserve that lean muscle so that I'm not looking at a different person in the mirror 2 weeks later after not going to the gym for 2 weeks in a row. Oh, and by the way, this is my mom's favorite product. She's 65 years old. She was complaining about cellulite on the back of her arms. Woman's in amazing shape. Like, who at 65 complains about cellulite in the back of their arms? They usually just accept it. My mom didn't accept it. She started using Catalyst twice a day. It's gone. Cellulite's gone. She's in amazing shape. She loves her Catalyst. Okay? I skip meals all the time, or I'm hungry, or maybe you know someone at work who is always going to Jack in the Box, always going to those unhealthy places and spending $7 or $8. Okay, I talk price and nutrition value with the meal replacement shakes. So I'll say, hey, I noticed you go out to lunch a lot. Do you want to be spending that much money on lunch? No, I really don't, but it's so tough for me to prepare meals. I used to be the same way. I used to rush out the door, and I used to not have breakfast, and I used to go to the either something at fast food or just really having a not very good prepared meal, and I'm spending a lot of money. I love my meal replacement shakes. These things have helped me to not only get better nutrition. It's 24 grams of protein, 24 grams of carbs that are going to help just fire up my metabolism. But this really is saving me money too. I can't tell you how much money I've saved over the years not going and getting that burger at Jack in the Box or getting that burrito at Chipotle. This right here, I've used this once a day for the last 4 years. It's helped me get down to my lowest body fat percentage since I was 13 years old. Is that something you want to learn more about? Okay, these are the ways I'm talking about the meal replacement shakes. Other core products, so we've talked about Catalyst, we talked about Spark, Rehydrate, Pre. Again, the 24-day challenge, I'm usually just letting the video do the talking. The only other thing I'd say is the M&S, okay? M&S is a really tough one sometimes for people to explain. Here's how I explain it. Hey, you know when that apple gets picked from the tree and then it gets put in the cart and then it gets shipped over to the grocery store and then it's washed and then you go and buy it and you're not eating it for another 3 days after that? Yeah, it happens all the time. Okay, well, did you know that when that apple gets picked from the tree, it immediately starts losing nutrition? And you are losing key ingredients and nutritional value from that apple that cannot be replaced. So do you have an apple tree in your backyard, or do you go, if you like your red meat, do you have the ability to hunt and game for yourself and have that that meal that night from what you shot and killed earlier that day? Probably not. So everything that's being put in our bodies from the grocery store has been losing nutritional value since the time that it was basically gathered. The M&S is filling in those gaps, the things that you're not getting from your food. And that's why when I hit a plateau or I start to notice that my energy gets really low, it's probably because I'm not getting what I need out of my food. That's what my M&S does. Helps me sleep better, helps me wake up more refreshed. And honestly, this is just one of those products that whether you are looking for energy or craving controls or whatever you're looking for, no matter what, it's just good for overall health on a daily basis. We've got 3 different formulations. The C is for craving control, the E is for energy, and the 3 is just for overall wellness. So, what would you like to start out on? So that's basically how I'm explaining the M&S. Honestly, from here, it's just really about dealing with tough questions. So you're going to get questions about, well, what's in the products. Okay, we already talked a little bit about what's in the products, and all that information is available online. So anyone at any time can go ahead and log into their website or go onto your website and click on the product fact panel on that product and get all the answers that they need. But if you're trying to build a business here, or just at least trying to share with some strength of what these products are, that's where you've got to really start looking at the Bulletproof Shield. Okay, the Bulletproof Shield is something that I have used all 4 years of AdvoCare, and I'm telling you, if you use this effectively, you can become a product expert and ingredients expert. It's going to take some time though. Anyone who gets started in AdvoCare, as long as you have one product story, hey, Spark helped me to get through a day that I did not want to do any chores at home, and by the time I had the rest of my Spark, I was cleaning the house, I was doing the dishes, I was doing the laundry, and I was asking what's next. That is, as long as you have that, you have everything you need for the Bulletproof Shield. So the Bulletproof Shield is basically dealing with tough questions. So, hey, is this, I don't know, is this a pyramid scheme? Love that question. What's in the products? Are these products safe? Is this, I don't want to spend a bunch of money and then not get results and then be stuck with all these products. Okay, the Bulletproof Shield, 5 different things here that are going to allow you to deal with tough questions effectively. So number 1, let's just take that question of, is this a pyramid scheme? That's going to be a really common question that you get if you're sharing the business of AdvoCare. Your story. And I always like asking good questions back. So whenever someone asks me, is this a pyramid scheme, or hey, what's in the products? I'll always say, well, why do you ask? Or what do you mean by a pyramid scheme? Some people actually don't even mean it as a negative way. Some people are just like, oh, just kind of the way that you get paid, you're making the most and people under you, you're helping them and they make money too and you make money and everyone's happy. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty similar. But then you get the negative ones who say, well, you got to get in early and you've got to have, so many people under you and really the person at the top is making the most money and I don't really believe in that stuff. Well, I don't know much about that, but what I do know is that in the last 2 weeks, I'm brand new, in the last 2 weeks, I've made X amount of dollars by sharing this with about 5 friends, and the person who introduced me to it, they've been in it for 4 years, and they're averaging about $3,000 to $4,000 a month. So, if that's something that you want to be able to do as well, I'd love to introduce you to my friend. They're doing this at a much higher level than me. Okay? Well, I don't know much about pyramid schemes, and if you notice, I always say I don't know much about that. Okay, that was direct advice from Danny McDaniel. He's our #1 distributor in AdvoCare. I think he knows what he's doing, so I'm going to just keep on doing that. I don't know much about what you mean about a pyramid scheme, but what I do know is that Drew Brees is our national spokesperson. You know who that is, right? It's an 18-year-old NFL or 18-year veteran in the NFL, Super Bowl MVP, kind of the Honest Abe of the NFL. You know what I'm talking? Okay, cool. You know what I'm talking about. So he's our national spokesperson, and I don't know much about what you mean by pyramid scheme, but it sounds kind of negative, and I don't think he would attach his name to something that negative. Do you? No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, Drew Brees is one of 200 unpaid athletic endorsers. Jason Witten, Andy Dalton, Rich Froning, all these people only getting paid with products. Oh, wow. Okay. I had that conversation with a guy who was a baseball coach, and he said, I don't really want to attach myself to a pyramid thing. I said, do you think that Drew Brees would attach his name to a pyramid thing? He goes, well, no, but what does that have to do with it? I said, he's our national spokesperson. Oh, 24 hours later, he was signed up as a distributor. Okay? It works. Scientific and Medical Advisory Board. Well, I don't know about that pyramid thing, or hey, I don't know much about ingredients. I'm not really an ingredients person, but what I do know is that we've got a scientific and medical advisory board. Okay, this is 8 scientists and doctors that make over 300 years of experience in their respective fields. Guys like Dr. Stanley Dudrick, and I'll usually have an Impact magazine. I wish I had one with me right now. Shows you how prepared I was. Usually I'll have that Impact magazine and I'll point out, this is Dr. Stanley Dudrick, and he's the inventor of intravenous feeding, being fed through an IV. He saved over 10 million lives with that invention. He's got a huge reputation that he needs to uphold. He doesn't use AdvoCare as a way to bring up his reputation. AdvoCare, if anything, is something that he had to put under a microscope and really say, will this still allow me to hold on to my reputation? And he has decided for over 20 years to associate himself with AdvoCare. So, yeah, I think if we got a guy like that on our team, I think that the products are pretty safe. What do you think? Okay? Informed choice. Hey, there's just so many products out there. How do I know that this is any different than anything else out there? Your story, endorsers, Scientific Medical Advisory Board, Informed Choice. Well, Informed Choice, you probably haven't heard of them, but they're a third-party company that AdvoCare pays millions of dollars every year to check for over 220 banned substances. That's what makes it available for Olympic athletes, NFL athletes, and average everyday people like you and me too. And one thing I like to say too, especially if you get like firefighters, police officers, nurses, people in competition. I just talked to an MMA fighter the other night. Hey, you're going to get pee tested. You're going to need to make sure that the things that are going in your body are of the utmost integrity and efficacy. Informed Choice is doing that for you. So when you see that Informed Choice check mark, where is it? There we go, right there. That Informed Choice check mark on our products, that means you can sleep safe at night because you know that you're putting in something in your body that is free of banned substances. And then lastly, well, I don't know. I got all these things coming up. I don't really know if I want to do this or not. What are you worried about? Well, I'm worried that the products aren't going to work. Okay, here's the deal. From day one that you order, within 30 days after that, any products that you've used, even if you had all 14 stick packs of the Spark from the packet, if you didn't like it, if you didn't feel the difference, send it back, you get all your money back. What's there to lose? And by the way, you never open up that M&SC and 365 days later it's sitting on your counter and you're not using these products anymore and you never opened it up, you can send it back. Any unopened products are returnable within a year. Okay? So master the Bulletproof Shield, master talking about the core products, but at the end of the day, if it's just you, if you are the only one giving this message, then they're never going to catch the fire of the community of AdvoCare. The success system is in place for a reason, and if you don't know what the success system is, just Google AdvoCare success system and talk to your sponsor about it. Hey, what is the success system that I keep hearing about? It's taking AdvoCare, putting it through your mouth, and then getting people into the community of AdvoCare. Because at the end of the day, people will come to AdvoCare for either the products, the business opportunity, or both, but they'll stay because of the people that are in this business. So master these fundamentals of talking about the products, master the Bulletproof Shield, and go out there and talk to people. Make your list and talk to people. Go have fun.